my shorts.
Cool story about physical media this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Disney, they reached out to me. Gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Must be about a month ago now. Maybe 3 or 4. No, it wasn't that long ago. 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe. They said, hey, because they've used my quotes on TV spots before.
Yep.
Like a pull quote. So they just use your quote.
Do they pull them from
It's usually
Rotten Tomatoes?
It's usually the thing I've submitted to Rotten Tomatoes they take it from. So I'm always very selective with what I use on the Rotten Tomatoes, because that's what they will always go to.
Yeah.
And so they come to me, they go, are you okay with us to use this quote? Which I think is fantastic.
Nice that they are.
Because I know a lot of them don't do that, particularly overseas. I always see people tweeting like, oh my God, they've used me on an ad I didn't know. But they will always reach out and they'll say, do you mind if we use this? Do you have any issues with us using it? No way, go for it. So they've used me in, what was I? They put me in an ad for Mulan. Soul I got on as well. So they reached out to me a few weeks ago and they were like, do you mind if we're doing a localized cover for Raya and the Last Dragon, and we're thinking about putting a couple of localized quotes on there from local media, which is not something they usually do.
So they've done it locally in probably the US. And
there's a US variant, there's a UK and an Australian one, and usually it's the same. Right. It's the same quote, but they've done localized. I'm not too sure why, but anyway, great. They reached out. They're like, "Do you mind if we use your quote in relation to the Blu-ray, the release of the Blu-ray?" And I said, "Yeah, go ahead, man. The DVD, whatever." And then I didn't hear back, but then I heard back on Monday. I reached back out and they were like, hey, by the way, here's an update. We've put your quote on the DVD cover. And then, of course, there was the DVD, the Blu-ray, and the 4K.
Wow.
So I put my quote on all of them, which is bloody awesome. It was really cool. Really cool. And on the TV spot, they've done a digital spot, I think. So it's running, I think it's running on YouTube, Instagram. I don't know. I know it's running on social and it's running on digital, what do you call it, like the catch-up apps?
Oh, yeah.
On like the streaming apps. So they've put that stuck a digital thing that's going around. Yeah, it's awesome. So I've always wanted to be on a DVD cover. It's always like, oh, that'd be great if I could get that little quote on the DVD. Never thought it'd ever happen. I thought, oh, no, it'll never happen. But no, yeah, there you go. So they reached out and I'm on the Raya and the Last Dragon DVD cover forever now.
And Blu-ray
in Australia.
and 4K.
And 4K, yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool. Just in Australia. Australia exclusive if you want that Dave Lee Down Under variant of the Raya cover. Yeah. I'm also on there with another really fantastic critic as well, Harris Dang from here in Australia, whose work's really fantastic as well. So we've both got our quotes on there, which is really great. So
cool. It's good they're using, they're using quotes from people other than the main
the
newspapers or
exactly
TV stations and shit like that. Because it just shows the way that media's going.
Yeah. Well, Harris writes for
mainstream media's dying off.
Well, exactly right. Harris writes for a like an online, I guess like a, I don't know what you call it, like a blog, like a app,
digital newspaper
digital,
sort of thing.
Yeah. Called the AU Review.
Right.
And I reached out to him. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Happy to share the cover with you. And he's like, oh, yeah, so cool. He said he's had a few in the past, but his name wasn't actually on it.
Right.
So they just quoted. I looked through a bunch of them, and actually most of them will only credit the outlet, not the author. But Disney.
Like New York Times.
Yeah, you'll have New York Times or the Channel 9 Morning News or something like that. But this one, Disney's been really good and actually credited the authors, which is great. I mean, if they just credited my outlet, it would be my name anyway.
Exactly right.
My name's on it twice, Dave Lee, Dave Lee Down Under, which is cool. Anyway, so you can head out. If you're in Australia, you can head out and buy one of them. Otherwise, you can, if you're overseas and you want one of the Dave Lee Down Under variants, you can probably buy it online somewhere. There you go. So that's very cool. I'll put up the pictures on the screen, but if you're listening, you head to my Instagram, my Twitter. I've put up pictures. I think it's on the Facebook as well. I don't post often on the Facebook, but I put that up there. That was pretty cool. Hey everyone, if you haven't yet, smash that big old subscribe button up on your screen to keep up to date with all my content, and hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to check me out on social media, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon for as little as $1 a month for exclusive videos, early access content, and to get your name up on the screen. Thanks again for watching.